Hi, I'm Susie Weiss, and you're watching INTV, and this week our special guest is
Randy Winkler.
And you might remember him as the postmaster in Roslyn, and he's also does our movie interviews, and you do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Watch a lot of movies?
I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I watch 3 or 4 movies a week usually.
Wow, that's a lot of movies.
And that's why I do the reviews. I said to Nolan one day, I said, hey, you got a show. I watch movies, let's put them together.
Yeah, and it works out great. It works out beautifully because, then people get an idea of what movies are out there that are good and worthwhile to watch.
Yeah, I don't like to call myself a critic because I only do the movies I like.
Yeah.
I don't criticize. I try not to criticize movies unless I really feel like I have to.
Yeah.
There's occasionally I go, I got to say something.
This one was really bad.
Exactly.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, well, let's see what's first up on our list today. Well, can you tell us about what's happening?
Sure. The battleship guns that were refurbished are being placed back at the Cle Elum Cemetery. Jim Eidenmiller was there to tell us what it was doing.
I'm Jim Eidenmiller. I'm the post commander, VFW Post 1373.
I'm GM1 Hallmark. I'm based out of Coast Guard base Seattle. We're the Coast Guard's only Medal of Honor recipients gravesite in Cle Elum, Washington. We replaced or refurbished the 2 3-inch 50s that resided at the site for all the service members from Cle Elum. We removed the guns on November 6th of 2012, so about 10 months. Well, we have about 1,500 hours into the guns. But we raised over $23,000. We had the guns sandblasted, powder coated, refurbished, and brought them back up. There are some missing pieces, and we manufactured and we found parts to make them symmetrical, make them the same.
Nick and some of his crew came up to us here about a year ago and said, hey, how do you feel about us restoring these guns? They were the experts in knowing how to go in and take them apart, put them back together, and the only thing I asked them to promise me is if they disappeared, that I had to have 2 weeks notice before they notified the city so I could be gone. But no, they've done a phenomenal job on it, and we can't thank him enough for the effort. This man here's just about put his life on hold for the last year because this project took over his life for a while. Just a phenomenal effort. Once again, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks again, Jim, for all your hard work down at that memorial at the cemetery in Cle Elum. Now we have an interview with Charlene about a book that they have for sale down there as a fundraiser.
Hi, I'm Charlene Kozlerich, Secretary and Treasurer for the Northern Kittitas County Historical Society. And I wanted to share with you the fact that we have created a new local history book. It's called Another Story, and it just came out this July. Let me give you a little bit of background on it. The Historical Society supports both of our Cle Elum museums, the Telephone Museum and the Carpenter House Museum. And we're always struggling to bring in funds to cover this, that, and the other emergencies that we have. Putting a roof on the Carpenter House, putting a roof on the Telephone Museum, fixing the plumbing, and fixing the bricks that are falling off the building, and there's so many things that come up. And so in talking about how can we raise some money to support all of these different emergencies, we came up with the idea of creating a local history book. And we recognize the fact that there is not much written on Cle Elum history. There are books written on Roslyn and Ronald history, but not that much on Cle Elum. So we wanted to focus on Cle Elum and its surrounding areas. So what we did was we went to the Tribune archives here in Cle Elum and looked back at Pete Facero's articles that he wrote during the 1970s and 80s. Pete Facero was a columnist for the Northern Kittitas County Tribune newspaper. And prior to doing that, he was a grocer here in Cle Elum. He ran the Economy Grocery until he retired in 1972. Pete had a way of getting into the heart of the matter. He went out and found out what our early history was in Cle Elum and interviewed the old timers to get the real stories. He wrote stories about the early beginnings of Cle Elum, of Teanaway, of Liberty, Pio Point, Easton, even two towns that don't exist anymore, Caslin, which was out in the Teanaway, and Jonesville, which was up between Roslyn and Ronald. And he had a fun way of writing his stories. A little bit of gossipy history was strewn in, and lots of old names. So we tried to pick out the most interesting and historic articles that he wrote and put them in this volume. It's called Another Story. It's 190 pages long, and it includes 125 old pictures of the area. Some of the pictures are well over 100 years old. So I think you'll enjoy reading this book. It's been selling very well. We have copies available for sale at both museums, the Carpenter House Museum and the Telephone Museum. Copies sell for $25 each, and we have sold almost 2/3 of our original order. So copies are going fast. We have a few left. If you're interested in purchasing one, come on down to one of the museums or give me a call at home, 649-2880, and I'll be happy to get you a copy.
If you haven't been to the Carpenter Museum, I have. It's awesome. Make sure you go all the way up into the attic and check everything out. It's really cool. The next thing up is the Seahawks. They're looking awesome. This week they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 45-17, and they're just really looking great.
Go Seahawks!
Go Seahawks! I think they're going to go all the way this year, but
hey, I got my
see.
money on them. Yeah. My husband's going down to Vegas next week, and I'm putting money on him. I'm telling you.
Well, be sure and watch this on NFL Red Zone if you get a chance. And here's a little commercial to tell you all about it.
This is NFL Red Zone. We're in the middle of 7 hours of nonstop football. Let's go live to Washington, where RG3 fires to Santana Moss. Out in Seattle, Kaepernick finds a wide-open Vernon Davis. And at Ford Field, last play of the game, Andrew Luck dumps it off. He's in. Colts win. The Colts march down.
This is first time watching NFL Red Zone.
Welcome to football, everybody.
NFL Red Zone, live on Sunday afternoons. Every touchdown from every game. Find out more at NFL.com/RedZoneTV.
If you get a chance, check out Red Zone on Inland Networks. Also, coming up, we're changing some things around at Inland Networks, and INTV is going to be moving to Channel 3. And Channel 3 is going to be moving to another station, so you're not losing it, but it's just we're moving it for convenience. And we're going to be doing something new. I got a new show coming on. It's called Scuttlebutt, and it's going to be kind of a fun show. We're going to do a lot of community stuff, and going to be doing some cooking. So if you'd like to be a guest on my show, let me know. Give us a call, 649-3940, and we would love to have you on to talk about the scuttlebutt of town.
Well, we'd like to say thank you to our viewers and our sponsors, Ruby's, Cle Elum Public Market, and Farm and Home. They've been there for us from the very beginning.
Yeah, Randy, those guys are really good sponsors, and we're really thankful for them. And we need to add Gunner's Coffee. They're a new sponsor. And the CMA Church, they have a show that they do every Sunday morning, so you can watch the church service right from the convenience of your home. And this week, the Warriors play Goldendale, but it's an away game. And next week, they play LaSalle at home. And, you know, remember, support the boosters. They got great booster burgers, and they help support the kids. So check out this commercial from the Booster Club.
Warrior fans, when we fill up the stands, it can make our team play better. And while you're at the game, grab a hot dog, nachos, or a world-famous Warrior burger at the concession stands. This all helps the Warrior boosters. If you feel like keeping the spirit going after the game, pick up a sweater or other great sports apparel from the Warrior boosters. Support Warrior Booster Club, which helps support the kids.
And I'd like to introduce a rather poorly dressed version of myself reviewing the movies. it's Randy Winkler again, your friendly neighborhood movie reviewer. This week I'm doing Insidious 2. Insidious 2, I gotta say, I almost didn't see it. This weekend there were 2 scary movies available, and I chose the one I thought I could handle better, and boy was it scary. But it was a really insanely intellectual plot, so it kept me so busy thinking that it took some of the scare away, which helped me to get through it. Plus it poked a little bit of fun at scary movies during the movie, although it's not a comedy at all. So it's a really good story about a kid who somehow discovers when he turns puberty that he's able to go, when he goes to sleep, go over to the other side where the dead people are. And the problem then is that the dead people see his light and they want to follow him back and stuff, and they want to get him. So I don't want to tell you too much more than that, but that's the gist of it, and it really goes in deep in this one. And also there's an Insidious 3 coming, you can tell by the ending of the movie. So I would definitely recommend it. It's a series of scary movies, and it really worked on me. I was scared and I enjoyed it, so go see it. They're still showing Star Trek Into Darkness down in Ellensburg, and so I went down and saw it. They're having a special on a double feature with World War Z, and I went and saw it again, and holy cow, I forgot just how good it is. Now that it's been out for a while, I'll say that you know, it's a parallel time warp thing now with the new Star Trek as opposed to the old Star Trek. It's a different time frame, so it's really cool because they kind of did the Wrath of Khan Star Trek 2 from the old movies, only it's completely convoluted and changed. It's got a lot of the same stuff in it, like the needs of the many outnee the ways of the one or the few, but different people say the things and they have different meaning and they have slightly different angles to it because it's a different, it's a parallel reality in a different time. So I was just blown away by it. I just wanted to say, be sure you go see that if you can. If not, it's due out on DVD any day, so buy it and enjoy it. This week's Roslyn Theater trivia question should be easy for anybody who's ever gone. What's the name of the Roslyn Theater cat? So call us at this phone number and tell somebody at Channel 40 that you're answering the trivia question with the cat's name, and you too could win fabulous prizes like I have. So don't forget to patronize your world-famous Roslyn Theater, and don't forget the INTV is going to be starting the first of next month. It's going to be on Channel 3 in our area, and still on Channel 2 in Ellensburg. So tune in and stay up on the movies. Yeah, Insidious 2. I loved it.
Insidious 2 is good?
Yeah, it was very scary.
Really?
Very scary, but it was really well done.
Was it too scary for like a little kid?
Yeah, but in an intellectual way. A little kid might not even get the scariness of it.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Kind of like Shrek, that there's stuff in Shrek that, you know, little kids can't catch.
Yeah, but I think a little kid would get bored.
Oh.
Because they wouldn't get it, and so there'd be a lot of stuff they wouldn't understand.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I'm always looking for movies for my grandkids.
Yeah, no. This is not a movie for your grandkids.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you, our movie reviewer, for letting me know. And now it's time for Civic News. Woo! This Monday there was a school board meeting, and this what happened. Eddie really didn't want to film it, but he had to.
Building Spotlight. We have Principal Matt Chase and 2 outstanding students and an outstanding parent.
We are going to have 15 to 20 minutes of media time out of the 50 minutes that the children come, and every classroom will then have 15 to 20 minutes of IXL. And the way that then will work is the teachers will monitor the progress and communicate to Mrs. Byrne through a system about where they want the children while they're working on the computer. So every child in our building will have access to it. Every child will use it on a regular basis, if you will. And so I don't know if you've seen a lot about the IXL, but Charlie and Isabel are here kind of to demonstrate for you and then talk about from the student perspective. So you guys want to roll? Go for it. Okay, and you can talk about this first piece, Isabel, and then Charlie, tell them you can kind of narrate too, and off you go.
As you get older, there are more options, but still, I don't think I could finish these all in a year. Well, I could, but it would take me a long time.
So you're not just awesome, you're awesome, you're fantastic. I think that's important.
So it allows you to kind of monitor what skills you are doing. Is that right?
Yeah. So
and it gives you feedback about those skills?
And you can do stuff you haven't learned in class yet.
This week we had a Cle Elum City Council meeting, and this is what happened.
Well, if you saw the commotions last Saturday, it hasn't yet made the paper, but on Saturday morning, a little after 8, the on-duty officer was dispatched to McDonald's for a report of a suspicious package. A customer had located a suspicious package in the women's bathroom. The package had been addressed to the President of the United States, made reference to explosive material. So the officer immediately evacuated the building. We were assisted by the Sheriff's Department as well as the Cle Elum Fire Department. Based on what we believe the contents of the package were, we requested assistance from the EOD, Army EOD out of Yakima. They promptly responded. They had their robotic, or their robots with them, actually sent it out, opened up the package for us using the robotics. It was then determined that the contents of the package were not considered or not deemed to be explosive nor harmful. Based on the items that were found in there, we were able to associate it with an abandoned vehicle that was parked about a block over this way. The officer was able to look inside the car, was able to see other items in the car consistent with those items found. Long story short, search warrant was served. We were able to make an arrest on a 59-year-old female for felony threats to bomb or injure people. So kind of a big deal in Cle Elum.
And they also had a Roslyn City Council meeting, and here's what happened in Roslyn.
The city was approached, I believe, by the Grays. And yes. Who are the Grays? Yeah, okay. It's Greg back there. About putting a fence around their property. Somehow a survey was done and it was discovered that the property was actually city right of way. So I've been calling it the hot dog. Sean and I like to talk about it as a hot dog. I like to call it hot dog. But where the Grays thought they owned one piece of property, but what it ended up being is they owned this piece, they owned this piece, and right here was city right of way. That's a hot dog, they own the bun. Okay? So they wanted to figure out what they could do and get this figured out because their title report showed that it was all their property, the whole piece was their property. But the survey and city records said that it wasn't. So we had numerous discussions on this, and myself and Mary, one of the paralegals in my firm, looked into this, looked at old plats of this whole area, tried to figure out what was going on, and it really does appear the property is an old alley. It's not open. If you looked at the piece of property, it just looks like grass and there's nothing there. But it is an alley. So what we have proposed is to make this right, because it really doesn't serve anyone's interest for the alley to go straight through their property, especially because the city owns the property on the other side of the Gray parcel. So they own this one, city right of way, you know, the Grays own this, and then it's city property, okay? So what we proposed is to possibly do, vacate the alley, because it's really the only way to do it, is to vacate the alley and then do a lot line adjustment. So as part of the vacation, the Grays will have to provide some sort of compensation to the city, and what we're thinking would be good compensation is to do a boundary line adjustment that would give the city contiguous title to this part and the Grays contiguous title to that part. And it'll be like the way the Grays thought it was when they purchased the properties.
And that's it for Civic News.
Yeah, in the weeks to come, they're going to start having a series of interviews dealing with teenage drinking in our community, so be sure and stay tuned for those.
Yeah, that's a very important subject around here.
Yeah.
You know, it has lifelong consequences, so you definitely want to key into this one. All right, for some things that are coming up, just a reminder to let you know what things that are happening in the community. October 5th, there's a fire prevention event down at the Cle Elum Fire Hall, and they're going to have fire trucks and there's going to be firefighters, and you can come and get information on how to get your home and your surroundings and your community fire-wise. So it's fire-wise is not just for the woods, it's also for urban areas, and there'll be information there that you can get your home ready, and you can bring your kids down. It's just a great family event. And also Boo Elum is coming up. Now Boo Elum is the holiday, the Halloween event that they have down in Cle Elum. It's sponsored by Vision in Cle Elum, and we'll have upcoming information to keep you informed on that one. On October 5th is one of the Senior Center's main fundraiser. This is a prime rib dinner. And folks,
ooh, I'll be there for that.
This is an awesome, awesome dinner. $17. So go down to the Senior Center and buy yourself a ticket, okay? And then the other thing is Carpenter Museum is having a special showing this week. There's some artists that are showing their wares. So check it out and support your local artists. Now, starting next week, INTV will be on Channel 3. And those favorite boys of yours will be returning, and I know you've missed them. They've been out working hard in the field.
Nolan and Jeff?
Yes, well, Nolan's not coming back next week because he's on a little trip with his honey in New York City. So we'll have some stories and some pictures from the East Coast, the adventures of a small town boy in the big city. So anyway, you guys, your dream is coming true. Jeff and Nolan will return. Now it's time for birthdays. On September 26th, Kyle Klein and Emily Ostrom's birthday.
September 28th, Rebecca Harrison.
On September 30th, Mark Giles and Brennan Willett.
And on October 1st, Missy Bingham, Diana Henderson, Elisa Schaefer, and Modoc Tapes.
If we missed your birthday, don't let it happen. Or anybody in your family's birthday, even your dog or your cat, we don't care. Check out the information below and contact us and let us get your birthdays on the air, okay? So, shall we sing happy birthday?
No.
Oh, darn it. Anyway, happy birthday.
This has been really fun. I've enjoyed this. It's
it is
great.
Fun, isn't
yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you want to be a guest on my show, let me know and you can come on. This is Susie Weiss.
And Randy Winkler.
And it's been a pleasure coming into your home.
Yes.
Okay, now can we? Pardon me, sorry.
Okay, and then...
No, that's me.
Is that you?
So... Yeah. I'm terrible today. Okay, you are so full of it. Oh, poop.
You forgot your whole
I did.
So now you have a whole lot of editing to do, Eddie.
I make you earn your keep.
I earned my keep a long time ago.
You can email us at... where do we email us?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even do the outro. People didn't even know the show was over. You just crumbled paper out of nowhere.
So, okay.